Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno was the first time we ever saw two men meet in the octagon 4 times. And I highly doubt there's going to be a 5th time. Both of these men are such warriors. Deiveson Figueiredo, he was coming up, stormed through the division, showed devastating power, slick submissions, and he just has this aggressive killer instinct. And Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. I remember prior to their first fight, he's coming in as the underdog, the challenger, and he just shocked us with the performance that he did. And after that first fight that ends in a draw, it just sets the stage for these other 3. And tonight, we didn't get the epic fight from these men like we had in the past, but instead we saw the evolution of one man, Brandon Moreno. We saw him come out there and add new wrinkles to his game to really, truly put the stamp on this series of fights with Deiveson Figueiredo and also establish himself as the worthy champion of the division. From the very first start of the first round, it didn't take long to see that Brandon Moreno was going to approach this one differently. Went out there, scored his first takedown early. Now look, he wasn't able to go out and get much damage done, but he showed good technique, and it forced Deiveson Figueiredo to think about it. He had to realize this is something that I didn't have to worry about in the past. This is a new technique. This is a new wrinkle to the game. Moreno's bringing something else to the table. Once they get back to their feet, we see the patience from Moreno. Neither man was necessarily interested in rushing anything. It only takes one mistake at this level, and you can find yourself in a bad spot. But from that patience, Moreno was able to get off 2 very quick counter right hands. Now, they didn't land, but they were quick, and they were so close, and you immediately knew that they were a part of the game plan. Those counter right hands were going to be the answer to all of those leg kicks that Moreno ate in their 3rd fight. And we were only 3 minutes into the first round, and we could already see the basis of Moreno's plan. Be patient, hard counter right hands, and mix in the takedowns. It all sounds really basic, but basics win titles. Basics wins championships. It's all about the execution. In between rounds, we hear Moreno's corner tell him, 1-2 move, 1-2 move, 1-2 move, and get the takedown. And we saw Moreno execute on that more and more as this fight went on. He goes out there, he's landing great shots. The majority of the time, Figueiredo's looking a little confused, like he wasn't quite sure how to get going, wasn't quite sure how to get to the spots he wanted to land the punches that he wanted. He just wasn't putting enough offense out there. You just got the feeling that he needed to step it into another gear, and he wasn't able to do that. He's taking some big shots. Then we go into the 3rd round. We see him eat a big left hand. We see him eat this big shot, and this was the one that eventually spelled the end for him. Moreno shoots this big left hand, lands directly in the eye of Figueiredo, but it lands with Moreno's knuckle. Now, the punch hurt, but it's the knuckle in the eye that caused it to swell shut. But make no mistake about it, it is a completely legal shot. This is not the same as an eye poke. And eventually this led to Figueiredo's eye swelling shut. Doctor called it off in between the 3rd and the 4th round. Now, it may have felt a little bit anticlimactic, may have felt like it was the ending that a lot of people didn't want, but make no mistake about it, Brandon Moreno was dominating that fight. I had him winning all 3 rounds. Daniel Cormier, Paul Felder, John Anik, they all felt the same way about it. Officially on the judges' scorecards, all 3 of the judges gave the 2nd round to Figueiredo. And I'll respectfully disagree. I thought we got the more successful work from Moreno. I think if this fight would have went on, we would have continued to see more successful work from Brandon Moreno. I mean, look, I have no doubt that Deiveson Figueiredo still has it. I don't think he's necessarily past his prime, washed up, anything like that. I think this was a really nasty weight cut for him after the fight. He said he's done at this division. He's going to move up to 135. It'll be interesting to see what he does up there. The man's got great power. But it is all Brandon Moreno. He came out there, and through these series of fights, he was able to continue to evolve, continue to develop. He was able to slay the boogeyman. A lot of people did not want to step in the ring with Figgy. With that power that he had, with that aggressiveness and that killer instinct, Moreno was able to go out there and slay the dragon. And in it, he became a better fighter. The way he showed that tonight that he was able to mix up the takedowns with his strikes, the way he was able to be a little bit more patient, the way he didn't use the jab as much because he didn't want to offer the countering opportunities for Figueiredo. all shows a high ring IQ, all shows his development as a fighter. These are great things. These are great things. And I can't wait to see what's next for him. I have no doubt in my mind that there are people chomping at the bit, getting ready to try to tear his head off. That's what happens when you're the champion. They don't want to let you celebrate for 1 minute. They want to let you know that they're out there. Can't wait to see what's next for Figueiredo at 135. I've always been a fan of him. It'll be interesting to see if his power carries up there and what he's able to do with it. So let me know what you guys think. Were you surprised by this one? Moreno was a slight favorite going into this one. So in that sense, I guess it wasn't necessarily a surprise that he won. But were you surprised that it ended early? Were you surprised that he was able to dominate the way that he was? That he was able to mix in these takedowns and his game's continuing to evolve? Let me know what you guys think.